Hi, I'm Dr. Ann Louise, and today I have another question for you, and that is, are parasites making you fat? You know, parasites, those uninvited guests, have always been a focus of my work since one of my books came out in 1991, which was entitled Guess What Came to Dinner? Parasites in Your Health. And interestingly enough, most people think that parasites are still a third world concern, whereby we've had at least 48 states in the United States that have had measurable outbreaks of some type of parasitic infection. So I wonder, where could all these parasites be coming from? And since I've done parasite testing for so many years, and 8 out of 10 individuals that I test are coming up with one or more parasites, I've had to look at the various factors. Well, number one, you've got to blame outdated water systems, outdated water treatment systems, because chlorine, as well as some of the other agents in water these days, don't kill all types of parasites, particularly Cryptosporidium and in some cases Giardia. Well, number two, we have a lot of international travel where we're coming and going, eating exotic foods that our systems may not be very attuned to, and perhaps we're eating a lot of raw foods where you're using contaminated water to wash those foods and people are picking up something from their salads. And then, of course, there are beloved pets, which we do love, so there's no problem there, but sometimes they can be spreading some of their problems to us as well. So there are many different factors that are involved with the parasite epidemic, and there was one study in particular that I need to read to you because this really drove home the problem we're having with metabolic syndrome these days, which is synonymous with insulin resistance, and the overweight epidemic. Researchers at Pennsylvania State University in 2006 showed for the first time that metabolic syndrome and its major symptom, obesity and insulin resistance, are not unique to humans, but can be induced by a protozoan intestinal infection. That's huge news. Dragonflies were infected with gut parasites and exhibited similar characteristics to that of human metabolic syndrome. The dragonflies had a problem in terms of accumulation of fat, elevated blood levels of carbohydrates that do not respond normally to insulin, and had signs of systemic inflammation. So what I would like to suggest is that if you have done everything right, you may be the unwitting victim of a parasite epidemic. So what do you do about it? Well, number one, there are lots of foods that you should be incorporating into your diet that can out those hitchhikers. One of the most important of those foods is one that I include in Guess What Came to Dinner, as well as all of my parasite-related articles and books from the Fat Flush series, and that includes cranberry. Undiluted cranberry juice and water is a very high source of organic acids that have the ability to metabolize organic waste and can give parasites the heave-ho. So number one is the cranberry. Number two would be your pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin seeds have a very high amount of zinc, and taking at least a quarter cup of untoasted pumpkin seeds a day keep the intestinal system swept of these uninvited guests. Number three is garlic, and you know garlic will even keep vampires away. Well, some of the studies have suggested within at least 2 hours, garlic will go to work, particularly if it's raw garlic, 1 or 2 cloves a day, to some of our GI tract invaders. And last but not least would be some of our herbs and spices beyond garlic, which would include thyme as well as sage and even rosemary. So there are many things that you can do in your everyday environment. You've got to wash your hands carefully, especially after petting the dog or changing your child's diapers. We need to be washing our fruits and vegetables with a specific food cleansing bath. I talk about my Clorox bath. Yes, Clorox, in Guess What Came to Dinner and the Fat Flush Plan. And you've got to make sure that you are taking sufficient digestive enzymes so whatever may be coming into your system through the food is going to be digested and killed in your stomach and in your intestinal tract. And that's where a good digestive enzyme, including hydrochloric acid, as well as pancreatic enzymes, come in handy. So I hope you're not going to be a victim of the parasite epidemic, but now you've got all the tools that you need in terms of the food, the spices, and the digestive enzymes to preserve and protect your system, hopefully for a very long time. So this is Dr. Ann Louise saying goodbye. See you next time.